Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Wednesday, May 3rd, and welcome to today's live stream. As usual, we're going to start off by looking at the US dollar, DXY, do our full top-down analysis, all the way from the monthly down to the 1 hour time frame. Then we're going to take the information that we learned from analyzing the dollar, and we're going to apply it to all the other dollar pairs, including gold. And then we're going to probably look at some yen pairs and a few other pairs that I have on my list that were requested by my Patreon members. So let's get started right away as usual. So yeah, I'll do the Nifty for you, no problem. I got that written down. Nifty. Okay, so let's get started on the DXY. Let's zoom out a little bit too so we can kind of get a little bit of a better perspective about this pattern right here. Now on the monthly time frame we have very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be an A, or possibly could be a 1. Then we have an ABC down. That is very, very clearly an ABC. Now, the reason why I think this is an ABC, A, B, and C is because of the shape. An ABC will look like this. Kind of like that. A 1, 2, 3 will probably look more like this. And that right there is definitely closer to the picture of an ABC than it is closer to the picture of a 1, 2, 3. So just by looking at the shape that the market makes, usually you can get a pretty good idea of what's going to happen next. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of what I think is a wave C. If this is a wave C, then it will most likely make a downtrend, probably something very similar to this over here, which most likely will go down and take out this low. So I'm still saying that this is going to go down, probably all the way to and beyond the low back here, probably all the way down to about $70, if not even lower. Now I was saying that this possibly could be a wave 3 right here. If it is a wave 3, then this right here would be a correction, and we would make some sort of a shape like that. You know, maybe something like this right here, or something like this right here. It's not going to make the shape of a trend, which a trend is definitely more like this. So if this move down does end up being an ABC correction, we definitely should be able to recognize that, and we should be able to trade accordingly based on that. Now we are talking about the monthly time frame, so whether this is an ABC or whether it's a 1, 2, 3, honestly at this point it really doesn't matter to us at all until we at least get to the third wave, which at that point we will have to figure out whether it's a wave C or whether it's a wave 3. So before we move on, I just want to tell everybody that today is FOMC federal funds rate. They're predicted to raise interest rates by 25 basis points, which is definitely not a lot. So we're definitely going to have to see if the market's going to have a big reaction to that or not. I'm actually starting to think that the market's already played in the news, because everybody pretty much expects that the interest rate's going to go up 25 points. So unless they do something dramatic like change it to like a half a point, or they don't raise it at all, I think that the market may have already played in the news and that the move has already pretty much happened. So let's go back to the chart. So that's at 7 p.m. UK time. That's at 2 p.m. New York time. So let's head back to the charts. We looked at the DXY and the monthly, so let's move ourselves down to the weekly time frame and look at the US dollar index. Now the DXY, notice the shape, and the US dollar index, they are quite a bit different, especially right here at the end. I am always more inclined to trust the US dollar index because it is equally weighted between 6 US dollar pairs. The DXY is not equally weighted. It is 56 or 57% weighted to the Euro US dollar. So it's almost exactly the same chart as the Euro dollar, but in reverse, which is why I do much prefer to look at the US dollar index, at least on the weekly time frame, and down, because the US dollar index doesn't have that much data, so you can't really look back too far like you can on the DXY. So anyways, we have a nice downtrend right here, a series of lower lows, lower highs. I think it's a wave 1. Now I have this ABC here just to remind myself that it could go up and make it a wave C, which would be a completely normal looking pattern if that is what it decides to do. And we definitely don't want to be surprised if it does make a big move up, but looking at the smaller time frames, I still think there's a very good likelihood we've ended a correction and that this is just going to keep on trending down, most likely a 1, a 2, and a wave 3. So let's keep going down to the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, this move up here was pretty strong, so I'm thinking it may be a motive wave correction or like an ABCDE. But to me, it does look like it already ended a correction. The part that makes me think that this is not an ABC like you just saw on the weekly is because this move down is the shape of a trend. That is right there is definitely the shape of a trend. That if that was a correction, it would be more shaped like a correction, like a three-way pattern, like something like this. So that's why I believe that this move up right here is a correction to this move down. And I still think that this is more likely to just keep on trending down and not go up and make that wave C. Now if for whatever reason today the news comes out that makes a big impulsive move up, it takes out structure, that will change my mind, and at that point I'll start looking for longs in an uptrend on shorter time frames to trade the wave C. But it doesn't really matter until the news comes out whether it's going down or up. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, to me it really looks like an impulsive up wave A. This looks like a complex correction for the B, A, B, C, D, E of wave B. Then I do see probably a 1, 2, it kind of looks like a 3, but this could be a 4 or 5 right there. Either way, it does look like it went all the way back up, retested this structure level, and then made an impulsive move down. Price was never able to close above structure. Now, like I was saying in this morning's US dollar video, this right here could be an ABC to this last move up. So if the news comes out and this makes a big impulsive turn at this Fibonacci level, then that would convince me that it is a wave C, and at that point I would for sure be ready to go long, and I would have absolutely no problem scrapping the idea of this being an ABC, and I would turn it into a 1, a 2, and a wave 3. So that's why I always say go with the flow. Even though we may have a forecast, we may have an idea of what we think is going to happen. If the market doesn't agree with our idea, we need to be able to change it in a matter of seconds. So going down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, we got an impulsive move down, and to me it looks like a wave 1, but it could possibly be a wave A. We have 3 waves up right here. To me this looks like a wave B. It looks to me like a wave 2, I'm sorry, but it could definitely be a wave B. Then it looks to me like a 1, 2, and we're in the middle of a wave 3. Even if this was going to just take off to the upside at the news later, it really doesn't look like it's in the state for that. It looks like it would at least need to make a 4 and a 5 and then do that, which we 100% do not have enough time to do that. And that's pretty much what would be required to happen if this really was a wave C. So to me, I think it's a 1, I think it's an ABC of 2, and I think it's a wave 3. I think the news is going to come out and this is just going to keep on going down. Now it definitely could spike up, even all the way up to one of these highs to, grab some liquidity, maybe fake people out, fake people into going long, but I think it's more likely that it will keep on going down, especially looking at all these US dollar pairs, which we're going to do now. So let's do that now. Let's look at the Euro US dollar, head up to the daily time frame, and we'll do the daily down on all the dollar pairs. So on the Euro dollar, I think this is a 1. I think this is an ABC, most likely a 2. I think this is all part of a wave 3 right here. As you'll notice, price never took our structure to the downside, never told us that this wave 3 trend was over. No reason as of yet, besides maybe the fact that it's bouncing off a fib level, but it did break structure and then pull back, which is extremely common. So for me, I still think this is more likely to keep on going up, which I've been saying for about 3 weeks now, while we've been making this big correction. So heading down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, it looks like impulsive down wave A. It looks like a very overlapping corrective pattern, but I think it's an ABC of B. And then I think we have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wave downtrend for a wave C. We have a break of structure to the upside. That should prove that this is the end of a correction or end of a trend for the wave C, and that this move right here is the beginning of a new uptrend. So hopefully this does make a correction over the next, 4 or 5 hours until the news comes out, because that would give us a very, very clear entry to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. So let's take it down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, we have a break of structure, which to me proves that this whole move down is complete. If it really is a wave C, which it does look like it is to me, then this is now back into an uptrend. We have about 4 or so hours until the news comes out, so if it does make a pullback, that's actually exactly what I want to happen, because if it does make a pullback like this pre-news, I would say it's extremely likely that the news is going to cause this to continue the uptrend, and that's going to make for a very, very clear entry to go long for the continuation of this uptrend. So I am expecting that the euro dollar will go up at the news today. I'm expecting the US dollar will go down. Now, I will not be live streaming on YouTube during the news today, but I will be on Discord for my private members only group. So if anybody is interested in joining my members area, or they want some help with their trading, or they want to be involved in my new trading course that I just came out with about 2 weeks ago, then I will put the link for that in the description and in the chats. But if you want to just join my Discord, which my Discord is 100% free to join, I will put the link for that in the chats also. So the Discord is 100% free to join. The Patreon service is not free, but during big news events like today, I will be in there giving my bias to what I believe will happen at the news. We do members forecasts. It comes with a course with about 38 videos that teaches you exactly how I trade. So definitely you get a lot for your money. Going down to the pound dollar, let's go back up to the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we have pretty much the same thing as the euro dollar. We have what I think is a wave 1. We have like a 3-way pattern down, probably an ABC of 2. I think this whole thing up right here is a wave 3. I do not see any break of structure down, so I believe that this wave 3 is not over. I still think that the most likely thing to happen at the news is this is going to end up continuing the uptrend. So taking it down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, just like the euro dollar, it kind of looks like it's already ended a correction. I see impulsive down, wave A. I see very overlapping corrective pattern, which I believe to be a B. And I see almost a perfect downtrend, on which is better visible on the 1-hour time frame for what I think is a wave C. Nice impulsive move up, broke structure, now we're in a pullback, which is extremely common after a break of structure. So hopefully this will stay in that correction until the news comes out. If it is down like this when the news is pre-news, then I would say that we are very, very likely to end up continuing the uptrend at the news. Now you do have to remember that the news is at 7, but at 7:30 we have a press conference, and that is where Jeremy Powell does his speech, and at the Q&A at the end of the press conference is usually when the market decides on a direction. So usually you have to kind of sit around for 45 minutes or an hour at least before your market really does settle down and decide on a direction for the day. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, it looks very clear to me it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C. Nice and move up right here, broke structure. The fact that we're going down now makes me think even more that this is going to go up at the news. So if this looks something like this when the news comes out, I will for sure be ready to go long for the continuation of this uptrend. So, like I always say, the higher time frames are telling me the trend is up, so I'm still looking for longs in an uptrend. Now, the Aussie dollar has finally found a little bit of strength, which is good because we've been expecting this for quite some time. I still think this whole move up right here is probably all part of a wave A. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This looks like an A, 3 waves down for the B, and another move up for the C, so A, B, C of B. Then it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C. It did not touch this Fibonacci level, which does give you a little bit of concern, but price does not always touch a Fibonacci level. So you do have to realize Fibonacci is just basically a tool in our toolbox. We can't really rely on it 100% because it, just like anything that has to do with trading, it's not always going to work perfectly. I still think this is going to most likely head up, probably at the news. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here of wave C. And if this is a wave C, then we have a break of structure, which does prove that this whole trend right here is over. If that trend is over, then most likely the ABC on the longer time frame is over also, meaning that this move down right here is almost definitely going to end up being a correction. And if this looks like this at the news, then I will definitely be ready to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. So let's head down to the 1-hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, it really looks like it's about ready to go up now, even though we have about 4 hours until the news comes out. This looks to me like a downtrend for like an A. I definitely see 3 waves up right there for a B. Maybe we're going to make another push down to the 78% between now and the news to finish a wave C. Like I said, if this is in a down move like this but pre-news, and then the news comes out, makes an impulsive move up, breaks structure, then I am for sure going to be ready to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. So let's check out the Kiwi dollar, which is very, very similar to the Aussie dollar. Up on the daily time frame, the Kiwi is actually a little bit stronger right now, but it's very, very similar pattern. This most likely is an A. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A also. This is an A, B, C, a B, and we do have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C. Impulsive move up, break of structure. It looks like we already have the end of a wave B here, and if that's the case, then this will make higher highs, higher lows, and just keep on trending up. Because that's what happens at the end of an ABC correction, no matter what time frame you're looking at. So going down to the 4 hour time frame, now you can see what looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C. Nice impulsive move up right here with a break of structure. It proves to me that this whole downtrend is over. If this is a wave C, which it looks like it is, then most likely it's over, and this most likely will just keep on trending up, making them higher highs and higher lows. So let's head it right down to the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, I do believe that this move down. Right here is going to be a correction, especially looking at the longer time frames. So I do believe this move down right here is going to end up being a correction. And if this is still sitting like this at the news today, then I would say that the odds are very, very likely that the news is going to cause this to go up and most likely end up continuing the uptrend. So let's head down to the US dollar Canadian, which the US dollar Canadian has been very strong to the upside, mostly because of the Canadian. But on the daily time frame, I still think this way back here is the end of a wave B. I think this right here is a downtrend, probably a 1. I think this is a big ABC, probably a 2. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably a 1 of 3. Even though this move up is very strong, I still think it's a wave 2 of 3, and I still think it's more likely to go down, probably take out structure, and continue the downtrend for a wave 3 of 3. Which, if you watch my full top-down analysis, you'll know that I do believe that this is a wave C on the much longer time frames. So let's take a look at that on the 4 hour time frame. So 4 hour time frame, we definitely got a nice impulsive move up right here, most likely a wave A. We have 3 waves down right here, most likely a wave B. And this does look to me like it's forming a wave C. So we have, like I said, a little bit of time before the news comes out. So if it looks like this when the news comes out, sitting at this Fibonacci level, I would say the odds are very, very likely that it will make an impulsive move down. And this would also be a very good entry to go short for what I think is going to be the continuation of the downtrend. So let me just see, I was just checking my chats here. So anyways, let's just head down to the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, we see a nice uptrend right here. Now, first of all, we see 3 waves down, very clear 3 waves down. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. I think there's a good chance this is a wave C. I think there's a good chance the news is going to cause this to go down, break structure, and end up continuing the downtrend. So let's head down to the US dollar Swiss, which has already been moving down today. Probably a little bit more because of the Swiss than anything, but I think the US dollar Swiss is in a big wave 3. This right here to me looks like a nice downtrend, a wave 1. This looks like an ABC, probably a 2. I think we're in a wave 3. It does kind of resemble a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it does kind of make you think that the next move could be up for a correction, which would be a correction to this whole move, and then back down. But since I believe this is in a wave 3, a lot of the times you get what I like to call the blasting effect, and the wave 3 will just keep on trending down like that. So 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame. Very nice looking ABCs on this pair. We got ABC up there, ABC up, ABC up, ABC, and ABC as of most recently. So we definitely don't have time to make another ABC for another sorting opportunity, but I still think that the most likely thing to happen at the news is this will go down. Most likely still all part of that big wave 3. Going down to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, we got nice impulsive move up, most likely a A. Then we have a very clear 3 waves down right there, which is most likely a wave B, wave here, wave B, wave A. Then we have a nice 5-wave pattern up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C. Impulsive down, and then made a lower high. That lower high would have been my first indication that the wave C really was over and that we really are continuing the downtrend. Now, like I said, looking at the longer time frames does kind of make you think that this is going to go up, but most of this pattern is caused by the Swiss, not the dollar. So I still think that the most likely thing to happen at the news today is this is going to keep on trending down. So the US dollar yen, let me just check my chats one more time. Dicer Girl was asking why the DXY is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1 or A, which I definitely, let's switch back real quick because I do know what she's talking about. Now I 100% for sure don't trust this pattern. I trust the US dollar index. Like I say almost daily, there's a reason why I analyze the US dollar index. It's because I want to know what the dollar is doing. When you're analyzing the DXY, you're looking exactly at the same chart as the US dollar. Look at this. Look at that. Exactly the same chart. I don't want to know what the euro dollar is doing. I want to know what the US dollar index is doing. I want to know what the dollar is doing. I don't want to know just what the US dollar index is doing. I would much prefer to know what the dollar itself is doing, which is why I always prefer to analyze this one over the DXY, which is actually something that pretty much nobody else does. So going down to the daily time frame, I'm thinking that we may have already ended a wave C on this. A little bit of this pattern is caused by the yen also. But we can see a nice downtrend right here, which is like an 11 wave downtrend, probably a 1. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This looks like 3 waves down, A, B, C of B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. Definitely a little bit of a messy trend. But we do have a 3-wave pattern up. We do have price respecting a Fibonacci level. We do have an impulsive move down. This may have already ended a correction, and it may just keep on going down. So 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, we got a nice impulsive move down forming right here. This does not look like, it definitely could be a wave A, but it doesn't look like, even if it is a wave A, that it's ready to turn. I think it's probably just going to keep going down. The news is probably just going to cause this to go down even more. So 1 hour time frame. Now 1 hour time frame, it definitely doesn't look like a correction. This is for sure the shape of a trend. We have about what, 3-4 hours? 4 hours until the news comes out. So if this maybe spends the next 4 hours going up, that would give me even more confidence that the trend is down and that the news is going to cause this to end up continuing the downtrend. Now, like I said earlier, the news definitely could cause it to go up initially to make like a spike reversal type pattern. But I still think that the most likely thing to happen is that the dollar will go down at the news, causing all 3 of these pairs to go down, causing these pairs to go up, causing gold to most likely go up also. So let's take a look at gold. Gold's definitely got the shape of a 3-4-5 right now on the 1 hour. But if you look at it on the longer time frames, it looks like it's going up, especially if you switch all the way up to the weekly. And you have to squish this down quite a bit to really understand what this pattern is, because I believe this is a 1. I believe this is a 2. I believe we're in a wave 3. A wave 3 needs to be a lot bigger than a wave 1. A wave 3 is supposed to be the biggest, strongest wave of a trend. So that means that a wave 3 needs to go beyond the 100% Fibonacci extension of wave 1 projected at the bottom of wave 2. So if that's true, that means that this needs to go beyond this level right here to be a wave 3. Which means they would probably go all the way up to one of these higher Fibonacci levels to finish off this uptrend. Now this is the weekly time frame, so that definitely doesn't mean that we won't have some pullbacks on the sort of time frames. But I still think that this is more likely to go up. The reason why I think it's more likely to go up is because the trend is up. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. This looks like an ABC of 2. This looks like it's all an uptrend for wave 3. Now, I do see a lot of people think that this is going to go down, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it did go down. But as of now, the market is 100% bullish. We did break structure to the downside, but you will notice that price was never able to close below structure. I think this is a 1 of 3, a 2 of 3, and I think the news is going to cause this to keep going up for wave 3 of 3, especially looking at that longer time frame. Yeah, we're going to look at the euro yen because one of my Patreon members requested it. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, definitely a very, very messy pattern on this. Now, I do have my Fibonacci level on here just so I can recognize if maybe this does make some sort of a down pattern. That's something that it will tell us that it's going down. Now, we are sitting at the 61.8, so if it's still sitting there at the news and it makes an impulsive turn, at that point, I probably would believe that it's going down for a bigger move to the downside. But based on the longer time frames, which I always trust the longer time frames over the shorter time frames, based on the longer time frames, the trend is up, and it looks like it will go up a lot more than it is. So this is definitely a downtrend. Kind of looks like a wave A. This still looks to me like an A, B, C, D, E, and there is a little bit of a move down right there that could already have made a wave C. So an A, B, C, D, E, a B, and then a wave C, and now it's probably just going to keep on trending up. Excuse me. So let's head down to the 1-hour time frame, take a closer look at this, because on the 1 hour I could definitely picture this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It definitely looks like it is that pattern, and it would make you think that it's going to go down. But honestly, I think that based on the longer time frames, that it is going to go up. Maybe it will spike down at first, but I think the trend is up, and I think that the trend will continue up. Like I said, we have to try to trust those longer time frames. Yes, on the 1-hour time frame, we see something that looks like it should go down, but we need to trust those longer time frames because those longer time frames are king over these shorter time frames. They control the market. That's where the big money plays. That's where I believe that we need to trust. From my experience on the shorter time frames, all I'm doing is looking for entries that the daily time frame tells me to look for. Daily time frame is up. 1-hour time frame, I'm looking for longs. Pretty simple. So let's go look at some yen pairs. We're going to look at 3 or 4 yen pairs. So we're going to look at the euro yen first. This is my yen index that I made. Basically, it's just 7 of the JPY pairs all mixed into one chart, and to me this looks like an ABC correction that's already over. And yes, it's going down, but I do believe this move down is going to be a correction, and I still believe it's going up, most likely a long ways up, probably go all the way up and end up breaking this high right here. So just like the dollar index, I'm kind of using that as a roadmap to help me trade all these other JPY pairs. So yes, we are going down right now, but you will notice that we don't have a break of structure. We don't have price bouncing off of Fibonacci level, and we don't have a lower high telling us that this uptrend is over. That tells me that odds are that this move down is going to be a correction and that price is going to continue the uptrend. Going down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, nice uptrend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. Beautiful uptrend, honestly. Now, this is kind of a 3-way pattern down, but it looks kind of more like a wave A on most pairs, so it probably is going to need to make a wave B and a wave C, but the new dollar news does affect the yen pairs usually. So if the news comes out today and this makes a big engulfing impulsive move up, I would take that as a long opportunity because the longer time frames tell me the trend is up. Shorter time frames, I'm looking for trades in the direction of the longer time frame. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, I could possibly picture this being an ABC right here, like an ABC. But when you look at all yen pairs, it doesn't really seem like that is the case. Yeah, I mean, I guess that could be an ABC, but it looks more like a trend. That looks like a trend for sure. That one looks like it could be an ABC. That looks like a trend. And that one looks more like an ABC too. So most likely this is a wave A, and most likely the next move up is going to be a correction, and most likely it will go down again. Probably some sort of an ABC down to a Fibonacci level before it actually continues the uptrend. So let's look at the pound yen. Exact same thing pretty much. This looks to me like a trend, probably a wave A. It's probably going to go up, but the next move up probably will be a correction, probably a wave B. Then we're going to go down again to make a wave C. I think it's going to go down to the 50 or the 61.8, make an impulsive move up, break structure, and most likely continue the uptrend, most likely in a big way also. So let's the other yen pair that was requested was the US dollar Canadian, which the US dollar Canadian has actually been very strong, and it was very strong, and now it's starting to get very weak again. So the Canadian has been driving this pair quite a bit. But to me, it still looks like an A, B, C correction. We have a break of structure, which pretty much proves this whole move is over. That tells me that this move down is most likely a correction, and this will most likely keep going up. So, 4-hour time frame, what do we see? We see a very impulsive move down, probably all part of a wave A. Now, yen pairs are known for making impulsive corrections. Like, look at this correction back here. That's an impulsive correction, but it was still 3 waves. So definitely keep an eye. If it does something like this, it could just keep going up. So definitely keep an eye on it. It is known to make impulsive corrections, especially on the yen pairs. But I would like to see some sort of a 3-way pattern, some sort of a Fibonacci bounce, and a break of structure to help confirm that this really is the end of a correction and the continuation of the uptrend. So yeah, we're going to look at oil, and we'll look at natural gas too, because that was requested by a Patreon member. So I always do look at pairs that are requested by Patreon members. Yeah, we'll definitely check out oil, no problem. So, we got to go down to the 1-hour time frame on this. That doesn't really look to me like a correction. I mean, I guess I possibly could picture that being a correction. Let's go down to the 30-minute so we can see this structure. I mean, I don't know. I would have a hard time picturing that as an ABC because, I mean, I guess that's a trend. This is a correction and this is a trend. But it looks more like a wave A, which means the next move would probably be a B and probably down again for a C. So I'm still expecting to see like a 3-way pattern down, just like I am on pretty much all the yen pairs. Now, one of the reasons why I personally pretty much only trade the yen pairs and pretty much only trade the dollar pairs is because the yen pairs are all very correlated. So when I'm trying to figure out what the pattern is, I can look at all yen pairs to try to figure out the pattern. Just like when I'm trading the dollar pairs, the dollar pairs are so correlated that if I'm trying to figure out what a pattern is, I can look at all pairs and usually have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen next because they are usually very, very correlated with each other. So let's go check out Kiwi Canadian, which was requested by a Patreon member. Let's see, Kiwi Canadian. This is definitely a pair that I don't normally look at either. Ooh, it looks like that ABC that I put on here a long time ago is following through though. Nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. ABC up for the B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. Break of structure. I bet this is going to keep going up almost for sure. So that we need to remember that as we go down because like I said, shorter time frames are always king. Longer time frames are always king over the shorter time frames. Impulsive up. Overlapping corrective down. We probably may have already ended a correction right there. Let's go down to a shorter time frame, see if we can confirm with a break of structure. Oh yeah, I remember this pattern now because we were looking at this in one of my live Zoom meetings. Most likely this is a wave A. This is like a 3-way pattern up, most likely a wave B. This is a downtrend also, most likely a wave C. We bounced off a Fibonacci level almost perfectly. I would have definitely taken that as a long opportunity. But what happened? It made a corrective move up and then impulsive down. It made a lower high. When it made that lower high, I would have known that it was a wave D. And then it made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of E. Now we have a break of structure to the outside. I think that we have the end of an A, B, C, D, E, and we're probably going to keep on trending up. So I would for sure be looking for longs in an uptrend right now. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, this is that break of structure, which I think tells us the wave E is complete. I don't think this is over. I mean, maybe it's ready for a pullback, but even if it does go down, I would definitely be looking for longs in an uptrend, especially on the shorter time frames. So let's head down to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, we got some pretty clear corrections here. ABC down, entry to go long. ABC down, go long. Probably even on the shorter time frames, we got some more ABCs in here. But if this makes another ABC down, impulsive up, and that's what I'm looking for to go long for the continuation of the uptrend. So I would for sure be looking for longs on this one. It looks like we're in a big uptrend on the monthly time frame, so I'm sure we got a long ways to go to the outside. So let's go look at the S&P 500 real quick, because that was requested by one of my Patreon members yesterday, so I want to make sure I don't forget to look at that one. Let's head out to the daily. Now I am still very bullish on the S&P 500. Now I do believe, let's go to the weekly, I do believe it's going to go down again, but I do not believe it's ready to go down yet. I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to break this high, and then I think it's going to go down and make a wave C. So I do think the stock market's probably going to go down to about the 3188 area, but I don't really think it's actually quite ready to do so yet. So going down to the daily, that tells me I'm looking for longs. We did have a break of structure, but just like some other pairs, price was not able to hold below structure, telling me that the buyers are still in control. I think this is more likely to go up, take out this high to finish off a wave C of wave B. So taking it down to the 4 hour time frame. So 4 hour time frame, what do we got here? We got a little bit of a choppy mess, which actually kind of in lines with the dollar index the last couple weeks. And that news later on today is for sure going to affect this also. It's kind of a mess, so I definitely see an ABC there. This looks like an overlapping pattern. Maybe this is all a wave A, and this is a B, and this is a C. And this is like a 1, and this is like a 2, and it's going to keep going up for a 3. Sorry, that was a bad wave 2 right there. That does probably seem like the most likely thing. If the dollar is going to go down today, then this is probably going to go up. I mean, it definitely looks a little bit on the corrective side right now, but I bet this is going to keep drifting up, making those higher highs and higher lows. I really don't see any reason to think anything else otherwise. Based on the longer time frames, I am definitely still looking for longs in an uptrend for sure. So definitely a little messy, but the dollar has been very messy lately also, so it kind of lines up pretty well with that, I guess, because they have both been very, very messy and very, very overlapping. But if you stick to where the clarity is, which is roughly the daily time frame, the clarity is definitely telling me that the trend is up and that there's no reason to think otherwise. Until the market gives us a reason to think otherwise, I would continue to look for longs in an uptrend on shorter time frames for sure. So let's go check out the Nifty since we're already here, and that's a stock also. And I can't, yeah, it was the Nifty Bank that he wanted. Oh, that's going up just like we predicted. I've been saying that this was going to go up and break this high. It's getting closer. I've been saying that for quite a while also. This is not a pair that I trade, but I got that member here that requests it, so I always look at it. So this was very overlapping down, overlapping corrective waves, impulsive up, and then a higher low. Would have told me that this move down was over. It's been trending up ever since. I bet it's going to go up and take out this high. From there, we're going to have to see what happens. If it makes a 3, 4, 5 shape and goes down, that would tell me the trend is over. If it does something like this, keeps making higher highs, higher lows, then we better just keep on trading with the trend. Keep going with the flow. Definitely no reason to think anything else as of yet. That's a strong uptrend too. It still looks to me like we're in a wave 3. 1, 2, and 3. So I've been analyzing this for I'm not even sure how to pronounce your name, Vidget, for quite some time now, and we've been pretty accurate on this. So hopefully you're making some pretty decent money on this, because you always ask about it. And I always analyzed it for you, and I've been saying it's going up, so I don't see any reason to do anything except for look for longs in an uptrend. Hopefully you've been making some money on this trade. Oh, look at that. That was almost a perfect ABC right there. ABC down, impulsive up. ABC down, impulsive up. ABC down, impulsive up. If it makes another ABC, then I would definitely just keep on going long. ABC down, impulsive up. No reason to think the trend is over. No break of structure to the downside. And really, we could probably throw our Fibonacci on here on a higher time frame to give us a likely area where it could turn. Just try to figure out where the best place to put it would be. Probably right here, because that's the last low and high, and then low. So yeah, we're probably clear sailing to the 78, and if it goes past that, I would say we're clear sailing all the way up to the 100. So as of now, I definitely don't think there's any reason to do anything except for look for longs in an uptrend. I would be looking for three-way pullbacks, and I would be looking for entries to go long. So we got the Nifty. Let's go look at oil, natural gas. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll swing back around to look at the dollar pairs. I always like to start off with the dollar pairs and end with the dollar pairs. Still going down. I'm going to get rid of this for now. I think we're back in the downtrend. I mean, look at that. That has to be continuing the downtrend. There's pretty much nothing else that it could be. Which is a little tricky. Like I always say, the motive wave correction, if that is what that is, which it looks like it is, the motive wave correction is by far the most tricky pattern, because what it is you get a downtrend, and then you get a very impulsive move up, and then you're looking at that as a wave A, so you think the next move will be a B, and then you think there's going to be a wave C, but in reality, when you have a motive wave correction, it just goes up and then goes right back down. That definitely looks like a motive wave correction to me. 4-hour time frame going down nice and strong. We got a nice trend right there. Looks like a 1. This looks like a 2. This is probably a 1, 2, 3 of 3. We are for sure in a wave 3 right now, and I honestly think it's probably going to keep going down, probably going to make new lows. We're approaching the 78%, which should be an area of resistance. But really, I mean, Jesus, there's no reason to do anything right now except for look for shorts in a downtrend. That was a nice trade right there too. 1, 2, 3 waves up, impulsive down, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, impulsive down, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. Probably on the 15-minute, there was another entry today. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. So I would definitely be watching out for this 78% because I'm sure there'll be a reaction there, but really it doesn't look like a correction anymore, that's for sure. It looks like a trend, and it does not look like the trend is over by far. And natural gas, I think, is probably the same story. Look at it on the daily. This is a big downtrend. It looks like it's still going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. A, B, C, 2. 1, 2, 3. Probably a 4 and probably a 5 still. We're probably still in that wave 3. I thought we were going to go up and make an ABC of 4, which would be about the same size as this wave 2. But really, I mean, all we should have been doing is looking for shorts in a downtrend, because on the daily time frame, was there ever really a reason to do anything besides go short? Right here, we definitely had a break of structure up, so that could have been a little tricky. But really, I mean, once it started going down again and making lower highs, we should have known that it was going down. This move up right here made 3 waves up and a pulse of down. That's going down for sure. Let's look at it on the 4-hour time frame. This one at least made a recognizable pattern. If I don't personally trade this, but if I was, I would like to think that I would have been able to recognize that this was not a trend, because we had impulsive up, wave A. We had a very clear 3 waves down, wave B. Then we had impulsive up again, wave C. If that was a trend, it would make a shape like this, not a shape like this. Definitely a much different shape. Like I said, trading is all about recognizing the shapes that the pattern makes, the shapes and patterns that the market makes. So that's the end of a correction, and I do not think it's over. I think it's going to go down and probably make a new low. 1-hour time frame, beautiful corrections here, awesome corrections. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. 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 Really, I mean, there wasn't much too difficult about that. 1, 2, 3 waves down, go long. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves up, go short. 1, 2, 3 waves down, go long. Pretty simple. The strategy that I teach is very simple once you start to totally get it. Now, if anybody is interested, I do offer a course now, and this is the course right here. And all you have to do is join my gold membership. There's over 38 videos in this course, mostly about Elliott wave, Fibonacci, structure analysis, trading psychology, tuning the frequency of your charts, which I think is the key to structure analysis and Elliott wave. And then these videos are about my actual strategy, how I enter and exit the market, how I make very, very consistent profits from day to day, week to week. So definitely check that out if you're interested. The link for that will be in the chat and will be in the description. And on top of the course, you also get access to my Patreon only Discord channel. You get members only forecasts. During the news, you get access to my bias, what I think is going to happen at the news. So you get a lot for your money for sure. The link for that is in the description and in the chats. Also, if anybody just wants to join my Discord channel, it's 100% free to join. You do not have to pay a dime if you do not want to. The link for that is also in the chats and in the description. So let me check the private chats one more time. So yeah, just seeing if there was any more requests. Doesn't really look like it. I think everybody's waiting for the news later on today. Like I said, at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. New York time, we have FOMC today. They plan on raising it by a quarter. The press conference is right here. The press conference usually lasts about 30 minutes, and then the Q&A comes after. So it's probably going to be about 8 o'clock p.m., 3 o'clock p.m. New York time, 8 o'clock p.m. UK time, before we actually know for sure what's going to happen with this news, because it's almost always the Q&A portion before the market really decides on a direction. The Euro Swiss I'll take a look at, because this is a pair that a lot of my members are definitely watching. This looks like to me an ABC. Now this is very overlapping, but as you can see, it's still making lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. It's still trending down for sure. It did break structure right there, but anybody that took my course knows what a structure break means, and it definitely doesn't necessarily mean that the market changed directions. We had a break of structure, but then what happened? 1, 2, 3 waves up. If that was the end of a correction, it would have continued the trend. It didn't continue the trend. It made 3 waves up. It made an impulsive move down. 3 waves up, impulsive down. 3 waves up, impulsive down. 3 waves up, impulsive down. Even right here, 3 waves up, impulsive down. All those were awesome entries to go short. I bet this is going to continue to go down. So if you see more 3-way pullbacks, I would for sure be taking those as shorting opportunities for the continuation of this downtrend, especially if you look at this on the monthly. This looks like a correction. This looks like it's going down. I bet it's going down to at least one of these lower Fibonacci levels. 1 hour time frame, I am definitely looking for shorts in a downtrend for sure. Even right here, 3 ways up, go short. So if it makes another 3-way pattern up, I would definitely be ready to go short for the continuation of the downtrend. I would definitely only be looking for shorts right now on this one for sure. So let's switch back to the US dollar pairs, because the US dollar definitely needs to be our focus as of today. Let's look at the US dollar index. Oh, it's shooting past that 100% level. That's a really good sign that this is not a wave C, it's a wave 3. And it most likely is not over, even though we have news coming out today. I bet it will continue down. That doesn't mean that it may not spike up, but I bet it will continue the downtrend. Euro dollar, same thing, still going up, still making higher highs. Break of structure should tell us the wave C is over. I think the most likely thing to happen at the news is this will continue the uptrend. Pound dollar, same thing, break of structure. Pullback. That end of that pullback would have been the clearer, safer entry to go long for the continuation of this uptrend. I don't think that's over. I think we have a long ways to go to the upside. Aussie dollar, this looks like it's going to end the correction before the news. 3 ways down, right at a Fibonacci level. If that goes up, breaks structure, I would say that's the end of an ABC almost for sure. And I would definitely be ready to go long for the continuation of this uptrend. Kiwi dollar should be pretty similar. It's actually quite a bit different, but it's definitely similar on the longer time frames. This looks like a correction. I bet the news is going to cause it to go up. US dollar Canadian. Oh yeah, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It probably will go up a little more because we still have a few hours before the news comes out. But if it looks like this when the news comes out, I would say almost definitely it's going to go down, break structure, and continue the downtrend like that. US dollar Swiss has already been going down very strong, mostly because of the Swiss. Hopefully it kind of does pull back over the next couple hours, because that will give us a much clearer entry to go short for the continuation of the downtrend. US dollar yen is also going down, partly because of the yen. If this spends the next couple hours correcting, then I would say almost definitely it's going to go down at the news. And gold. Gold is the one that everybody thinks is going down, which, like I keep saying, I do see the possibility that it's going down. Like, this is possibly like a wave A, and this is possibly a B, and then it goes down for a C, and then goes up. I definitely do see that possibility, but the trend is still telling me the trend is up. Why fight the trend? Like, look at this price action back here. See how overlapping and how that whole period right there looked like that was gonna end? If you tried to go short here, you would have lost. You would have lost there. You would have lost there. You would have lost there. You tried to go short there, you would have lost. But instead, if you were just listening to the trend, because the trend never told us that it turned down. Now, one time this whole way up did the trend say that the trend was down. The trend said that it was up the whole time. And if you were listening to the trend, you probably would have made money there. You would have made money there, made money here, made money there, made money there, made money the whole way up. But if you were fighting the trend, like everybody's trying to fight the trend now, everybody wants to go short when the trend is up, same thing. Yeah, maybe it'll go down, but I bet it will continue to go up. I bet it will continue to make higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and higher lows, and just keep on going up. Like I always say, I trade with the trend because the trend is our friend. It's kind of a dumb thing to say, but it is 100% true. It sounds like something you would read out of an 80s trading book, but honestly, there's a reason why it's in so many trading books, because it is true. If it spends the next hour or two going down, that's even more going to give me more confidence that it's going to go up at the news for the continuation of the uptrend. So let me check my Discord one more time. Yeah, I guess that's true. You know, US dollar Canadian is very correlated. So if the US dollar Canadian goes down, I guess oil could definitely go up. It just, oil is can be kind of hard because it's usually strong in both directions. So yeah, you're right about that. Oil could definitely make a move to the upside for sure. So I hope everybody is going to be careful at the news today. We have that big news coming up. The whole thing with trading the news is a lot of the times the first reaction is not the actual trade. A lot of the times the market will do something like this. It will go way down. Everybody will go short, and then over the next half an hour while the press conference is going, it will slowly creep back up and then just keep on going up. So be careful, because the news very often does fake people out. You know, there's a very good chance this is going to go down, collect liquidity, and then probably just keep on trending up. So be careful with the news today, like I always say. And if anybody is interested, I will be on the Trade Talk channel later on when the news is coming out with my Patreon members. So if anybody wants to join my Patreon membership, the link for that is in the description and in the chat. We'll be on talking about what the most likely thing is to happen at the news, and hopefully we can make some money together. So definitely like and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Definitely join my free Discord channel, 100% free to join. We have over 3,000, 3,200 members right now. What do we got? We got 3151 members, so we have a pretty large community of traders. So definitely check that out. It's getting to be a really large community of traders. Definitely like and subscribe to my channel. Next live stream is on Friday, so hopefully I'll see everybody there. Same time, same place. So as usual, happy trading and good luck.